are not sitting in a classroom, but you have to imagine that you are in a classroom.
This call is now being recorded.
Okay, so here it's actually today I'm not planning to start with our actual 9th standard syllabus. So today I'm just planning to start something which you have already learned, so that let us have an interactive session about this and let us move on with this. And then because you need some backup classes before we actually enter into 9th standard syllabus, so I'm just trying that way. And I remember today when I thought of starting something with you, I remember a common question when I entered to 8A and 8B. When I open the textbook, usually one or two students will be asking, what is the common question? Do you remember? 8A students used to ask and 8B students used to. Before I start with, anybody remembers? I remember it very clearly. So I thought of choosing that topic today. Anyone? Regarding the topic. Which exercise Ma'am Ricky is telling? That's okay. Regarding the topic of mathematics.
Ma'am,
Every day I
either
need to
geometry
correct.
or math.
Yes, Sharif?
Either geometry or maths, ma'am.
Very good, Sharif. This is the question I used to get every day. That is whether we are doing geometry or maths. That is one question. Another, today we are doing algebra or maths. So how I used to correct children, algebra and maths are not two different subjects. Algebra is a part of mathematics. Geometry is a part of mathematics. You can specifically tell which chapter. This chapter, are we doing identities? Like that, you have to tell. Don't separate algebra and mathematics. So this is the question I used to get from my class. I just remember all these things. So today, I've heard from the students that, ma'am, we are finding it difficult with algebra. We are not able to connect this one. So we find it difficult algebra. Like that, I heard many from many students. Other topic we can do, but algebra we find it difficult. So what I felt today, I'll start with some basic algebraic lesson so that you will come more close to it and you will get it, and definitely you will be applying in your 9th and 10th standard. So I'm not going to start the 9th standard topic again, because we need some backup to start the 9th standard topic. So I thought you have so many topics in algebra in 9th standard. So let us start with the basic level. So just children, please mute your mic and listen. I'll just start. Can you see something? Can you see my screen? Yes. Yes. Okay. So, so let's start with basic algebra. So I want each and everyone to participate and interact with me and talk. Not only for few students, I need to get response from each and every child. Okay. So far you have learned algebra. So what actually it refers? What is actually algebra deals in mathematics? You can just tell in your own words. I don't want any clear answer, or I don't want any statement from the textbook. What did you understand so far about algebra? Variables, good. It is connecting with variable. Yes. Then Hurat, Chandrakala said first. Constants, Zain, very good. Then Safan, variables, Harshita. Okay. So I understood that you got the idea that it is something connecting with constants and variable. You are absolutely right. In algebra, we are dealing with some alphabets. They are called they are called constant, and it is connecting with some variables and constant. All these are called algebraic expression. So I'm happy that you got that basic of what is actually algebra. So let us move on to this. Okay. So algebra is a branch of mathematics which deals with symbols and rules for manipulating those symbols. And in elementary algebra, we'll represent, that is in algebra, we will represent two quantities, whether it is a variable or it is a variable and coefficient plus some constant with certain symbols. So this is what algebra. Okay. Then coefficient, very good. So all the terms related to algebra you are able to recollect, that is very good, that it is connecting with coefficient. So you are familiar with all this word coefficient. Jawab just said coefficient and Melvin variable. So all these are correct. So from this part, I understood that you are going to enjoy with the algebra class. So definitely you got some idea. So we will just modify this and we will learn more things. Very good. Then, so algebra is basically, it is dealing with the symbols and rules. That means it will be expressions connecting with plus or minus sign and with variables and constants. And I just want to know, you have learned about the terms, basic terms of algebra. So we have learned about the terms and we have learned how to separate algebraic expression. Anyone remembers this? Algebraic expression. Yes, Chandrakala, come on. What is an algebraic expression? Like terms, unlike terms. Yes. Very good, Khurat. Then, Michelle, what is that? Okay, like terms, unlike all these terms you have learned. So in class 9, you will not be getting all this separate the coefficient, separate the constant, or like terms, addition, subtraction. You will not be getting all these questions to attempt in your question papers. But we are using all these basic algebraic lessons, all this in different parts of the mathematics. For example, trigonometry, you will be using expansion, all these things you will be using. So this is what I'm trying to relate, how you are using your basic concept in the coming classes. Very good. Children are actively participating and you have got the idea of all this. Very good. I'm happy about that. Now, let's watch this. So, how many buggers were there? 5. Anna, very good. 5. So all of you got this. This is very simple. So this is a simple example of how to introduce algebra to simple real life situations. So let's watch. Very good. 1 minute. Yes. Very good, Jawad. Don't you feel it very interesting algebra? Is it tough? Most of before the video plays, you are all giving the answer. So you got that where you have to apply this algebraic knowledge. I'm so happy that you attempted, all of you, before the video ends. You all got the answer. So now, what did you observe from this video? So next time when you go for your friend's birthday party or somewhere, you can just apply your algebraic knowledge. How many people were there? How many of them ate, or anyone took more than one burger? All those things you can find using your algebraic knowledge. Is that interesting? Yes. Good. Okay. Now, let's move on to next. Now, algebraic expressions. As you all have discussed about algebraic expressions, when I asked you, you all said light terms, unlike terms. So all the basic things, you know, and we will see how we are going to connect it with. Okay. So next is algebraic expression. Algebraic expression is an expression which is made up of variables and constant, along with some algebraic operation, for example, addition, subtraction, all this, and expressions are made up of terms. And how will you identify how many terms are there in an algebraic expression? X, Y, Z, if I'm telling, how many terms are there? I'm telling a single expression X, Y, Z. No, Chandrakala, just X, Y, X1, very good. Who said? Jawad, very good. X, Y, Z, it's a single term in algebra. How we are separating the algebraic expression by plus and minus. This is the way we are separating how many terms are there in algebra. If I say X, Y, Z, there is only a single term. That all X, Y, all three variables should be treated as a single term, and it is called an algebraic expression with one term. It is called, one name is there. Do you remember? Anyone remembers? One term, two terms, three terms. Anyone remembers that one term? That's a monomial. Very good, Mahinur. Monomial. So that means an algebraic expression contains only one term is called monomial. Here you can see 3x plus 4y minus 7. How many terms are there? Three terms. Trinomial. Okay, you're giving the answer, Roshni. Very good. Then 4x minus 10. This is also another binomial. Melvin. Very good. Nasir, very good. So all of you know all this. So I don't have to give more explanation on this. So you know what is an algebraic expression. It is connecting with variables. Algebraic expressions are expressions connecting with variables and constants. And we will count the number of terms in an algebraic expression depending on plus and minus. Very good. Now, next one. So this is the basic structure of an algebraic expression. You can see here, this is an expression. Okay, so the basic structure of an algebraic expression, I'll just show you this one. Okay, see this one. This is 5. This 5 is called the coefficient. Coefficient means it is the numerical coefficient of x. That is, here the variable is x, and 5 is actually a constant. It is a constant, it's a number, but it is, in this case, 5x means it is 5 multiplied by x, and 5 is called the coefficient of x. And here minus 3, that is, this is the constant. This is the constant part, and this is an algebraic expression, and it is, how many terms are there in this expression? 2. Good. So it is called binomial. So this is a binomial. There are 2 terms in this. So you have to understand the difference between algebraic expression and an algebraic equation. What is the difference between expression and an equation? This is an expression. Why it is called an expression? Because this is just only 2 terms. So what is the difference between expression and an equation? Anybody? If you don't, if you don't have to type, you can just unmute and speak.
Ma'am, good morning, ma'am.
Yes. Who's that?
Mithun, ma'am.
Okay. Yes. Speak. Yeah.
Ma'am, equation has many terms with equal sign, ma'am. So
Very
that
good.
is called the equation, and expression is only one term or 2 terms.
Yeah. No, it can be more than 2, 3 terms, but it will not be separated by an equal sign. Very good.
Equal sign. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Very good. Very good. Great. And others also giving the answers. I'm I'm happy that. And Alpa ma'am asked, what is the difference between coefficient and constant, ma'am? Yes, that's a good question. Thank you, Miss Alpa. The coefficient means it is the numerical part associated with the variable. So in this example here, 5x. Here, the coefficient is the numerical part or associated with the variable, and constant means it is separated from the variable. Hope you understood, ma'am. Okay. So, and if suppose, and as ma'am asked, I can explain more, because suppose the expression is written x plus 2 or x plus 8, whatever it be, x plus 2, what will be the coefficient there? I want my students to answer x plus 2. If the expression is x plus 2, what is the coefficient part there? Which is the one? Very good. All the children answered one. I'm happy about that. That means x means you have to, it is clear that it is 1 multiplied by x. You cannot write coefficient is 0. If coefficient is 0 means that variable does not exist. So there is a coefficient, it's called 1. Many of you are answering. I'm happy about that. And so in this case, 5 is the numerical coefficient of x and 3 is the constant. Next. Now, see, like terms, you are already mentioned about like terms. Like terms have two things in common. That is, they'll be having the same variable with same power. If I say xy and if I say x square y, are they like terms? If I say xy, yes, Chandragala said no. Yes, why? Because the powers are different. So the like terms means you should have the same variable with same power. So can you see the first two guys? That is minus 4x square y and 2x square y. They are like terms. So we can add, when we do the basic operations in algebra, that is addition and subtraction, you can do only with like terms. Okay, so if you add x plus x, you will get 2x. If you add x and y, you can just write as an expression, it is x plus y. You cannot write it as 2xy or something. Hope it is clear. Now, can you see the third guy? That is 3xy square. 3xy square and the other two terms are like terms. Are they like terms? No. So you can see that there is a gap between that. I think that third guy is practicing social distancing, the common word which we are using now. Is it so? 3xy square is a bit far away from that. Okay. So hope it is clear about like and unlike terms. Yes? Okay. Now, earlier we discussed the difference between this expression and equation. So Ricky, Mithun answered. So this is the difference. So earlier we had an expression, it was not connected with equal sign. Here we have an expression and it is equated to a constant. It can be equated to a variable also, and it can be equated to a constant also. So two expressions, here two things are connected by equal sign. So this is the difference between equation and an expression. Here it is written, here see 4. X is the variable, 4 is written as a constant, but actually it is a constant and it is the coefficient of x. And 5 is also constant and 17 also constant. And in an equation, you're all answering it. I don't have to teach anything, very good. So in an equation, so you solve this equation. So I'm just moving on to solving the equation. Very good. Then, so here you have to, and I'm just showing you the structure. I know that all these questions are very simple for you because you have already learned, but I'm just revising whatever you have learned. Then only we will get a track to go to 9th standard syllabus. So listen here, in an equation, what you have to understand is there is left hand side and right hand side. So that is LHS and RHS. So if you have to solve an equation, you have to see its LHS and RHS, and then we have to transpose the constant to one side and keep the variable on one side, and you have to get it. So all of you have solved the this equation. So that is how, what is the answer you got, Vignesh? You got 5 by 2. So how you solved it? You transpose 5 to the right side. So you are getting the answer as 17 minus 5. Is it so? 17 minus 5, you are getting as 12 and x is 3. Most of you, when I showed this equation within a fraction of a second, all of you got the answer. I'm so happy about that. So I don't have to explain much about this. I'm glad to know this. Okay, now, next one. It's a challenge. Try. Very good. I know you will be able to do this one. Try this one. Closely watch that figure. Watch that puzzle. Yes, you are getting Kushit, not 31. Just try once again. Sania is getting 31. Melvin, 31. Amina, good that you are all are participating. Just closely watch once again. 26, very good, Mahinur. That is the correct answer. Very good. 26. Mahinur got the correct answer. So I know that you are used with all this type of puzzles which you can find in social media and all. You are very well versed with all these things. I'm happy about that. Now my what I'm trying is I'm just trying to relate this with how we will relate these type of puzzles with algebra. This is what I'm trying. Without using algebra, you are so quick in finding all these things. But if you get an equations like this, we can relate how to apply algebraic knowledge here. So let us try this. With algebra, I'm just equating, I'm just writing this in algebraic language, because when we get word problems, all this, you have to try this way. So I'm just trying it like this. See, let's take pineapple as A, strawberry as B, grapes as C, and watermelon as D. So see, first I formulated as A plus A equals B. Second one, you got the answer, so there is nothing surprising in it, but I'm just showing you how we can apply our algebraic knowledge here. So that is C plus C, it is 24. Then D plus A equals 6 and C plus B plus D. So when you just connect this with algebra, so you can just, after writing all this, you will get an idea where to start. You would have started from C plus C, right? Yes, strawberry, 24. Yes, very good. So that is the way you, so when you get C as 12, you know that B into 1 is C, definitely B also will be 12. So you will be starting from the third row and you are reaching the second row and you are getting the answer B and you are applying that knowledge in the first row to get A. So it becomes so simple when you do like this. So C is equal to 12. B is equal to 12, A is equal to 4, and D is equal to 2. So it came to be very simple. So this is the way. So if you are getting something unknown conditions. So if you are getting a question where there are some unknown situations are there, we will apply that algebraic variable cases. We will take the different ones. Instead of here it is, we can just write as fruits and you can just write. So instead of writing pineapple, strawberry, all this, we can just substitute with some variables so that you will come to know how to apply algebraic knowledge in different situations. How will you connect this with algebraic equations, right? So now I'm sure that you will be just within 1 minute I'll get the answer, but I just want to check and I want all of you to participate. Yes, try this. Answer. Wow, Chandragala, very good. So it is just, I know others also trying. So I'm just showing you how will you solve an equation. You all got, I don't have to explain much, but then also I'm explaining because when you get all the equation, first step, you have to see left hand. Most of you got the answer. So I'm not explaining the answer much. I just want you to apply this method. We are just focusing on the method. So whichever linear equation, if you get, whichever equation you get, how to solve this equation. So this basic method you have to understand how we have done this. We have just separated the a variable part and the constant part. So that is left hand side 4x minus 9 and right hand side it is 2x plus 7. So we have just taken, that is transposing the terms. We have seen in that video, when you transpose from left side to right side or right side to left side, it will change. Its sign will get changed. So plus 2x became minus 2x and minus 9 became plus 9. And then we will be 2x is equal to 16 means x will be 8. So this is very simple way. So we are just going to understand the concept. This is just a simple example which I gave you. I know that we have done all this in more advanced way where we have to take LCM, all those things. So I'm just discussing only the basic things because in 8th standard you have learned linear equation in one variable, because 9th standard you are going to learn linear equations in two variable. Can you give me an example of linear? This is a linear equation in one variable, and why it is called a linear equation? What is meant by linear equation? You know, we have learned it 2 years. So why this is called a linear equation in one variable? Obviously, there is only one variable. Without power is very good. That means that without, it's not, we cannot say without power. Actually, we should say the power is 1. Without power means it will be x to the power 0 means it will be 1. But I know that you understood why it is called linear equation, because the power is 1. That is, the power of the variable is 1. So this is called first degree equation. That is why we are calling it is a linear equation. And if you have two variables, it can be called a linear equation in two variables. Can you give me an example of linear equations in two variables? 2xy, Chandraka, yeah, it is not an equation. Actually, it is a monomial. Can you connect it? It is not 2xy. You have to connect it with plus or minus, because if you take Chandrakala, good attempt. If you take 2xy means the power when you take x has got power 1. Okay, who's okay the answer? Hashida, very good. 4x plus 2. You have to equate. I'm asking equation. So okay, x minus 3, that is a Lakshmi Narayan, that is a linear equation. 2x plus 6y. Nasir, you have to connect it to something. It is not an expression. I am asking an equation. 2x, no, you have to equate to some constant. Yes, I got it. 2x minus y, 6z minus 2. Okay, so you got the idea. That is 2x minus y is equal to 6z. Chandrakala, what you have 6z minus 2. So there are three variables. It's okay. It's a linear equation because the highest power is 1. So 2x minus 3y equals 19. Hashida, good. So this is the way linear equation in one variable is there. We are discussing linear equation in one variable, and we are going to learn linear equation in two variables in 9th standard. So for that, you need this basic knowledge. So one more question I want to try with you. Yes. Try. Try. Hashida got 20. 4. Who got 4? Chandrakala. Yes. Let's see. You have to remove the bracket. First step, all this type of question, removing the bracket. Removing the bracket, there is a chance of committing mistake. You will forget this 4. This I have seen in many of the papers. That is, when you multiply, that is 3b minus 4. So most of you will write 3b minus 4. So when you are removing the bracket, you must multiply each and every term inside the bracket. So it is 3b minus 12. Here it will come 8 minus 2. Then we are applying the first method, that is transposing the terms. So you will be getting 3b plus 2b, that is 8 plus 12, and 5b. So obviously b is equal to 4. Chandrakala got the answer first. Very good. Then, so this is all about solving linear equations directly. Now we will see how we are going to apply this with word problems. So when you solve linear equations, if you are given a data and if you are able to apply this algebraic knowledge there, so your reasoning power your manipulating the things or your reasoning power will definitely improve if you manipulate the data and make this into an equation form. So let's try that. So this is what we have to, when you are getting a word problem, this is the application part of linear equation. When you are getting a word problem, you have to visualize. Okay, you have to imagine. Actually, algebra is the study of from known things, we are finding out unknown things. So we know some data, we have known from known to unknown. It is a journey from known to unknown. So if you are given a word problem, so now I'm happy that you most of you are thorough with solving linear equation. It is a very good thing that you know the basics. So if you are given an equation, I'm 100% sure that most of you will do it. But if you get a word problem, so if you are given a word problem, you have to visualize what is given. This is the way for each and every word problem. You have to their approach should be like this: visualize the condition and make connection. Make connection means you have to connect it with the known things and unknown things and make an equation and try for that. This we are done in 8th standard also. So let me see whether you remember. I'll help you out. Just try this one. Yes. 5 years ago, John's age was half of the age that he will be in 8 years. How old is he now? Just read before you start. Just let me know how you are going to connect this. How you are going to connect this relation in algebraic form. What is the first step? How will you start with this question? I know you will be able to solve the equation, but I just want to know the concept behind this, how you are going to approach this. You can unmute and tell how you are going to start. I don't want the final answer, Chilan. I want how you are going to start with this equation and how will you proceed. I'm concentrating how you are learning this type of questions method, how you are applying the method. Anyone, come on. How will you start with this type of linear equations? I know you're all busy in doing the sums and getting the answer. That's good thing, but I want to know how, because this is one question. You will be having different situations in linear equations. So what is the concept, how you are going to apply this? What is known here and what is unknown? Anyone, please, I'll help you out. Try. How will you start with this? Unmute and speak. Chilan, come on.
Ricky, do you want to give it a try?
Come on, let it be wrong, no problem.
Ricky,
Let's do it together.
you
Please,
can
this
unmute
is
and
one,
try.
one situation. There will be different situations. So how will you approach such questions? Suppose it is, I'm not giving this as application of linear equation. Suppose this question comes independent way. How will you come to know that what we have to do all this? Now see, because I started with linear equations. Yes, somebody is trying. I have started with linear equation and I'm going on to the application. So you are sure that we will be solving the equation. So suppose it is coming as a separate question, not as a continuation of the chapter. How will you identify that what you are supposed to do with this? Come on, Hashida, Kushid, anybody, just speak. I'll help you out because we are doing it together. Because this is the mostly in high classes, this is the way you are going to do linear equation because you are not going to get directly to solve x plus 5 is equal to 7. Those such questions will not be coming. You are applying your knowledge of linear equation in different situations. Hashida, come on. Zain, where is Zain? Arsir, I didn't see Aslan. Then Chandrakala, Nasir, Isa, come on. Are you stop doing? Why? Where are you? or any message? Start typing something. Come on. This how will you assume? But you are going, I'll give you one clue. You have to start assuming some variable as his present age. So what will you do? We have to start with the present age. So what is the first step? Now you can start. Where are you, children? Are you in the class? I'm wondering what you're doing. I gave you the clue. How will you start with this equation? We have to form equation because this is a this is the application of linear equation. So I gave you the clue. You have to start with the present age of John. So how will you start with? Because present age is not given. We have to find the present age. So what we have to find here? We have to find the present age. So that present age is unknown. So we will start with a variable. So how to start this? Ricky, where are you? You're all busy to find out his age. I want the method. I know you'll be getting the answer, but I want the method.
Raghav, do you want to try?
Yes, Hari Raghav, come on. How will you start with this?
Raghav?
Ma'am, I'm trying it, ma'am. I'm trying it.
Go.
Yes, you try it and get
Stay
that.
on
I'm
the-
sure that let me know how you are trying. I want to know how children are approaching this problem. Hari Raghav, tell me how you are trying. Which way?
5x minus 8, ma'am. I'm trying it that
I
way.
want to know how. I didn't give any X in the question. How you got X? I want to know how that. That is what
Ma'am,
I'm asking.
because, ma'am,
Hello, ma'am.
because it is
If there's no number given for the age, we should go with X, ma'am.
Who's that? Hari Raghav.
Ricky, ma'am, Ricky.
Ricky. Okay. Hari Raghav, you are following the correct method. So I asked only one thing. The percentage is not given. So we will assume let his present age be X years. This is the first step to be followed. I know you are trying with the equation, but when you are given this a word problem like this, in that question there is no X and Y. So you have to assume the condition. You have to assume. That is what I'm telling, visualize. So his age is, we don't know his present age, and there is a relation connecting his present age and how what was his age 5 years ago and what will be his age after 8 years. These two, there is a connection. So you have to visualize this and you have to connect and form the equation. Good attempt, Hari Raghav, and even Ricky also attempted that. We assumed his age is X. Anybody got the answer? Okay, so if present age is X, what was the age 5 years ago? If your present age is 10 years, what was your age 5 years back? Come on, children. If your present age is 10, what was your age 5 years back?
It's 5,
5
ma'am.
years, ma'am.
5. How you got
Five.
it? 10 minus 5. So the present age is X. What was his age 5 years ago?
Ma'am, x minus 5, ma'am.
Very good, Harira. X minus 5. So we got his age 5 years ago. And there is a relation connecting that 5 years ago, his age was half of the age that he will be in 8 years. So if your present age is 10, what will be your age after 8 years?
18.
18. How you got 10 plus 8? So here the relation is 5 years ago, John's age was half of the age that he will be in 8 years. So his age after 8 years will be X plus 8. And 5 years ago, it is X minus 5. So we got a connection that is X minus 5 is equal to half of X plus 8. So if you are able to identify the question like this, and if you are writing the correct equation, definitely you will be able to get it. So this is the way you have to connect. I'll just show you the steps. I'm happy that most of you are trying hard. At least you are just reaching it and just see this. So the present age, we are assuming X years. And This is the relation connecting. X minus 5 is equal to half into x plus 8. That means his age 5 years ago was half of his age after 8 years. So this is the equation correct. If you get the equation correctly, it is very easy to solve and get his age. So you can try. And one more advantage of doing this algebra, we can make sure that our answer is correct. In geometry or in any suppose in mensuration, area and perimeter, if you commit some mistake, we won't get time to just check whether you committed mistake or this one plus minus or everywhere there is chance of committing mistake. Here, after getting the value of x, if you substitute in the actual equation and if it is satisfying, that is left hand side is equal to right hand side, if it is satisfying, you can make sure that your answer is right. So that is the advantage of algebra, solving the equation. You can check back, you can put the values. When you are solving an equation means you are getting the value of x, you can substitute and check whether your answer is right. Anybody tried this? Got the answer? And one more clue, because when we are dealing with this variables and when you get the values of x, if you are getting, suppose if you commit some mistake with the negative, positive, all those things, it can happen when you are in a hurry, you are doing all these things. If you get the answers in this particular case, negative value, you must think age cannot be a negative value, right? So you can think that, okay, there is some mistake in my calculation, let me check back. So these are the application of linear equation when you do with real life situation, when you are finding the age of a person, we will not get negative value. So if suppose after doing the calculation, if you are getting the answer in negative, you have to think, okay, how this became negative. Okay, anybody got the answer? I'll help you out. How to start with this? How to solve this equation?
Ma'am, is it 17?
Is it? I can't hear you,
17.
sorry.
17, ma'am.
Not 17. How you started? You can do cross multiplication.
Yes, ma'am.
I give you the clue. Cross multiply 2 with x minus 5. Those who gave the answer 17 is close to the answer. Okay. Now,
Ma'am, is it 18, ma'am?
Hariraga, very good. Answer is 18. Very good. So, those who are attending, please pay attention. If you are given that left hand side x minus 5 and right hand side there is a half. So instead of expanding the bracket in the right side, you can do cross multiplication because this is a product. So this half, when you cross multiply, you will get 2 into x minus 5 and here it is x plus 8 and you can expand the bracket to x minus 10. Then the same way how we are done, that is 2x minus x and x is equal to 18. And how will you check whether your answer is right? You can put it in the first equation. In the first equation, if you write, see this one, 18 minus 5. What is 18 minus 5? You are getting the answer 13. And here it is 18. Instead of this x, you are putting this value 18. Sorry, this 18. And then you can substitute it here. So 18 plus 8, 26. 26 by 2 is again 13. So your left hand side answer is matching with right hand side. So your answer is correct. This is the way you must check. So if you check this way, you will get thorough with equation solving and you can make sure that I've done it correctly. Is that clear? Any doubts? Any doubt?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
No. Now this one. So now see how we are applying this linear equation on this. Here we are applying the knowledge of algebra in geometry. You know that mathematics, all these topics are correlated. So whatever we are doing in algebra, we will be applying in different situations. Here we are applying this knowledge in geometry. So the question is, the difference in the measures of two complementary angles is 12 degrees. Find the measure of the angles. This one you can guess and write. That is okay because you know. What are complementary angles? Anybody? Unmute, speak. Complementary angles.
90 degrees, ma'am. 90 degrees, ma'am.
Hari Raghav. Is it Hari Raghav?
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. So that means sum of two angles will be 90 degrees. It is called complementary angle. And one more variation is there. We have learned in this one. What is that? you have learned in earlier classes. I'm just connecting. Complementary, when we discuss complementary, one more category is there. What is that?
Ma'am, sum
Complementary,
of angles equals to 180, ma'am.
what is that? Supplementary angles. Okay, when I tell at least you connected 90-degree complementary angles and supplementary angles. Okay, good. This one you can just, some of you can guess and get the answer, but I want you people to apply the knowledge of that linear equation to geometry and get the answer. So here the difference in measures of two complementary angles is given to be 12 degree. Anybody got the answer? No. How to start with one? Assume it to be a variable, one angle to be a variable. Yes. Connect this with linear equation. Here both of the angles are unknown, so you don't have to take two variables, because if you take two variables x and y, you cannot solve, because if there are two variables, you need two relationship, two equations, then only we can solve. So you have, there is a condition given that the angles are complementary. So you can assume one angle to be x, and what would be the other one? Because they are complementary. That is the way you have to analyze this question. Don't take one angle as x and other as y. You will not be able to find, because we can make only one equation and to solve this linear equation. If you have to solve two variables, you need two equations. So how will you take it? I'm giving you the clue. One angle is x. How to get the other angle? Because they are complementary. If one angle is 30, what is the complementary angle of 30 degree? One angle is 30 degree. What is the complement of 30? Come on. Children, come on. One angle is 30 degree. How to find the complementary angle of 30 degree? You're not answering my question. Don't be in a hurry to solve this question. Answer my question. One angle is 30 degree. What is the complementary angle? Children, I know you don't know the answer, but you are in a hurry to do this sum.
Isa, do you want to give the answer, Isa?
Isa, come on. One angle is 30 degree. What is the complementary angle? Come on, children. Chandrakala, are you sleeping? Where is Harshida? Melvin, 30 degree. What is the complementary angle? You have told the sum of the complementary angles 90 degree. Which is the other angle? If one is 30 degree. Where is Ricky? Hari Raghav? Zain, I haven't heard from you. Isa, come on. Answer this question. Then we can connect with this. One angle is 30 degree. What is the complementary angle of 30 degree? Children, come on. You are doing all the tough questions. You are not answering the simple one. Yes?
Ma'am, the complementary.
Ma'am, 60 degrees, ma'am.
60 degree. Very good. So how we connected? How we got 60 degree? We got 90 minus 30.
90 minus 30, ma'am.
So why I
Ma'am, so 90 minus 60 is 30.
Can you please mute your mic? Okay. So why I asked you 30 and 60 are complementary. If you are given one angle, how will you get the other angle using this method? Because it is 90 minus this one. So here also we can apply that one. So if one angle is x, what will be the complement of that? What will be the complementary angle of x? 30. How you got 60? 90 minus 30. So if one is x, what will be the complementary angle?
Ma'am, 78, ma'am.
Who is that, Chandrakala?
Yes, ma'am.
No, I'm asking this question. One is x. What is? I'll come to the solution. If one is x, what will be the complementary angle? How you have taken the equation? But I am just trying. You can find this answer, but I want to know how you are applying the linear equation. That's what I told you. You can get you will get the answer. You can get the numbers 90 degree and the difference. But I want to know how you have applied the linear equation. Okay,
Ma'am,
so I'll,
x plus
no, one is x and the other will be? One is
12.
30 and you got 60 as 90 minus 30. So if one is x, the other will
90,
be?
ma'am.
Ma'am, 90 minus x, ma'am.
Yes.
90, ma'am.
90.
90 minus x.
Ma'am, 90 minus x, ma'am.
This is what I want to know. This is the concept you have to understand. So because simple questions you can guess and you may be getting the correct answer. But if this type of situation comes, you have to apply linear equation. So I've taken one angle as P and the complement of P will be 90 minus P. If you have taken x, y, z, any angle, if one angle is given, complementary angle means the sum will be 90 degree. So the other will be 90 minus the assumed variable. So it is 90 minus P. And it is given that the difference. So the difference is 90 minus P equals 12. So if you have taken here, if you have taken both the ways, if it is P minus 90 minus P also, you will be getting two complementary angles. Here I assume 90 minus P, let 90 minus P be the greater angle. So difference between two angles given means obviously it is greater angle minus smaller angle. Here I assume 90 minus P as the greater angle. So I subtracted. If you take P as a greater angle and subtract P minus within bracket 90 minus P also, the answers will be the same. It depends. So let us move on to the solution. Sorry. So here,
Ma'am, 39, ma'am.
yeah, one is 39 and the other is 51. Very good, Hari Raghav. That is, Chandrakala said in between 78. So 78 was 2 times that one angle P. So the P is 39 and the if one angle you get 39, what will be the complementary angle? It is 90 minus 39. It is 51. Is that clear? Any doubts? Here, I'm concentrating. I want people to understand more than getting the answer, how we are applying the method, how we are connecting this unknown things and the given condition and making a linear equation and solving. This method only you need to follow because you can definitely get the angles answers. It may be correct or maybe so. Yeah, with the difference we can find out. We can arbitrarily taken some numbers and find out the difference so that they are making 90 degree. All this we can try. But the correct method of doing this is applying the knowledge of linear equation. So you have to practice this question by forming the correct equation. If your equation is wrong, you will not be getting the answer. So you have to apply the knowledge of known things, unknown things, and how to connect with the given condition. Is that clear? Any doubt, anybody? Feel free and you can ask. Can I move on to next one? One more application. Children, why are you all silent? Are you all sleeping? Any doubt, anybody? Please feel free. It's our classroom. You can ask me. Can I move? Can I move on to next one? Children, come on.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Now,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
this one. So now see, here, you know that here it is perimeter, length, breadth. So where we are applying the knowledge of this linear equation, we are applying it in area and perimeter. So that topic, that is mensuration, deals with area and perimeter. So here we are applying, you know the formula, all these things, you can find it out. But here actually that formula itself we are substituting with the given condition. We are applying the knowledge of linear equations. And what is the formula to calculate perimeter of a rectangle?
2 into L plus B, ma'am.
Very good, Hari Raghav. 2 into L plus B. That is, L stands for length and B stands for breadth. So there, 2 into L plus B is the perimeter. That means we have two variables. But with two variables and one relation, we cannot find the length and breadth separately. That is why there is a relation connecting length and breadth. It is given that the length is thrice its breadth. So how will you connect L and B?
L is equals to 3B, ma'am.
3b is Chandrakala, good. L is equal to 3b. So we got a relationship.
3B.
And now we can apply it to the formula because you know the formula to calculate perimeter of a rectangle is 2 into L plus B. And instead of L, you will apply length and breadth. So it becomes
3B. Yes.
Hope all of you got it. Anybody got the answer?
30, ma'am.
30. What is 30? Length or
B
breadth?
is 30, ma'am.
Yes, good, very good. And then L will be
60, ma'am. 90. The answer is 90, ma'am.
90. Good. So you are quick in doing this. So let us. So I know that you'll be able to do the sums, but you should see how to apply the linear equation and how to get the solution. Solving linear equation. This is what I'm explaining here. So L is the length and B is the breadth. So given that L is equal to 3B. So formula to calculate perimeter is 2 into L plus B equals 240. And you can, here we are substituting because there's a relation between length and breadth. So instead of length, we are writing 3B. So you will get the value of breadth. If you get the value of breadth, you can put it back and get the value of length. So here also 2 into L plus B is also we are applying that linear equation. So 3B plus B and it is 240. 8B. So B is 30 and length is 90 meters. So that's all about the linear equations and all the algebraic, basic algebra tasks for the day. And I'm just going to try something little different. Hope solving linear equation and applying it in different situations. You are all clear about that. If you have any doubt or any difficulty, let me know now. Then I can move on to next. Then please feel free and ask and clear your doubts. I know most of you are trying and very good participation I got. I'm so happy and surprised to see you all competing to give the answer, and very fast you are giving the answers. Before I move into the first step itself, we are reaching the answer. I'm so happy and proud of you. So if you have any difficulty in the concept, we have to always concentrate on the concept, how to apply the method. This is the way you have to do it. So when you get a question, you have to analyze the question, what is given, what is to be found out, how will we connect the given things? This is the way you have to analyze. So up to this, algebraic lessons are clear. I want the answer, yes or no. Are you clear with all these topics?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Only
ma'am.
one. Okay. What about others?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So when you come across,
Yes, ma'am.
how to think. Okay. Thank you, children. So now let's leave algebra and let us move on to a different slide. Like let us do some statistical analysis. Let us do that. Okay. Before that, this for you. Get that head with mask. Now, most of you are aware of this situation. What will be the value of that guy with mask or that emoji, whatever you know?
8, ma'am.
3. Who said that?
8.
Come on, think.
19, ma'am.
2, ma'am.
Then think only that mask. Yes, Chandrakala, it is 4. Correct. It is 4. How you are getting? How you are getting? Because 4 into 4 square, that is 16. 16 4s are 64 and 64 minus 64 is 0. And one more thing is there, as we are learning algebra, when you are taking, actually that this square can be minus 4 or plus 4. When you are learning algebra, you can take minus 4 square is also 16 and plus 4 square is also 16. So actually its answer is plus or minus 4. When you take the square root in algebra of any number, if you are taking the square root of 25, we will write the value as plus or minus 5 because plus 5 square is also 25, minus 5 square is also 25. So, and certain cases we will take only positive values as I discussed, because when you are doing the problems with age, you will be taking only positive values. If you are finding the side of a geometrical figure or length and breadth, it will be positive values. But when you write the square root of a number, you must consider both positive and negative. So the answer is plus or minus 4. So, okay, what does this picture shows? It shows this is a situational puzzle. Now, why are we sitting at home? Why are we sitting at home?
Due to the COVID-19 lockdown, ma'am.
Yes, because of that. So, as a precautionary measure, we are wearing mask and we are under this lockdown, and just we are following the instructions given by government. So, we all will be we have to be safe at home. That is the reason we are doing all these things. So, let us just analyze statistically what is the situation now. So, this one. This is just this is not for the syllabus. I'm just showing you this how we are connected with this with statistics. So this what does this data represent? What is which pictorial representation is this? This you have done. Which pictorial representation is this?
Pie chart. It's a pie chart.
Who is that? May I know?
Isa.
Isa,
I'm
very
Isa.
good. It is a pie chart. Okay. So in this pie chart, you have learned in earlier classes how to draw the pie chart. Here, it is a just I prepared it yesterday. So there will be some variation in the numbers because every day it is changing. So here this side represents that active cases, and this blue represent the recovered cases, and this represent the deceased cases. So how usually you'll construct this pie chart? Anybody remembers this? You have done it long back, so I'll explain. Usually, if we will be taking this, all this we have to add together, and you'll be getting the total number of cases. And if you have to represent each data in a pie chart, you should get the angle. So we will be drawing a circle, and we have to get this angle. And all of you know that that angle around a point is, what is the total angle, complete angle around a point? It will be
360 degrees, ma'am.
360, ma'am.
60 degree. Okay, very good. So if you how to represent the given data in pie chart, we will be taking the total cases, and then we will be finding the central angle. Say, for example, this case, we have to take the total of all these three, and this one divided by the total into 360, and this case also, this one divided by the total into 360, like that. If three things are representing in pie chart, we will be finding the central angle, and then we will be marking all this you have done. This is just an analysis of the present situation. I'm just connecting how we can interpret this through statistical data. Just for your information, I have done this. So now, next one. This one. This you have done in the final
Bar
exam.
graph, ma'am. Bar
Very
graph,
good.
ma'am.
Bar graph.
Bar
Bar
graph.
graph. So this you have done in 8th standard, and
Bar graph.
most of you
Bar
are
graph.
going to in the final exam. I'm so happy that bar graph here, this bar graph represents few states. I've just taken few states of India to show the present condition of this COVID-19 pandemic. So here, x-axis, you can see this is the x-axis. X-axis represent the different states. I've just taken only this 6 states, and this y-axis represent the number of cases, all this, and as this blue represent the active cases, and this is recovered, and this green is deceased. So at least we are, as compared to the other state, this is the position of the Karnataka. So by God's grace, we are following all the instructions given by government and the health department, and we are just keeping social distancing, and we are using sanitizers to just clean our hands and wearing masks. So it is really we have to appreciate that we are just as compared to the other state, we are better than the other state. That means we are cooperating with the government. So let us continue the good work, and let's hope for the best. So what you are supposed to do? Stay safe. Okay. Thank you, then. Hope you enjoy. I enjoyed the first class with you. You all participated very well. I'm so happy about that.
Lakshmi, mute your mic.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, then.
Thank you, ma'am.
You all participated. Very good. First class was very interesting.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
So surprisingly, most of you have participated. I'm so happy about this.
Thank you, ma'am.
You can leave the class, children.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Have a nice weekend.
Thank you, ma'am.
Meet
Ma'am,
you
when
on
is the
Monday.
next class, ma'am?
You
Look
will get
into
the
your
schedule
Google.
next
You
week,
will get
Monday.
everything.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you so much for your active participation.
And don't forget to, I hope you all have marked their attendance. If you are late, you will not be given attendance.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you
Thank
all.
you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Have a nice weekend. Relax and enjoy.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye, ma'am.
Yusuf, please stop presenting. Please leave the class.
Yusuf, green color rectangle on the top. Stop presenting.
Yusuf, please stop that.
Yes, Yusuf, it is stopped. Thank you.
Children, please leave the class. Safwan, you can leave.
Tahir, you can leave the class. Tahir?
Thank you, Ms. Neelam, for the support. Thank you, all the teachers. Thank you, Alpa ma'am, for the participation.
Thank you, Bindu Miss, for the wonderful class.